Soldier rolled onto his side in bed. Disturbed by the alarm of his clock, he fished around on top of the nightstand, unable to find it. The alarm continued penetrating his eardrum until he opened his eyes. Nanya Needles stood before him, holding the clock in her hand. "Rise and shine, Soldier." She set the clock back where he thought it had been. "Nanya Needles in my side," said Soldier as he rolled back over. "I've got to be," Nanya replied. "I need you up for work. Your uniform is on the chair." Soldier rose to get dressed. Buttoning up his shirt, he entered the kitchen and sat down to breakfast. It was on the table ready to eat. He grabbed a glass and drank down its contents. Then he set the empty glass to the side. Soldier picked at his food before eyeballing a second plate on the table across from him, untouched. A fresh glass of juice sitting next to the plate, taunting him. Soldier reached over, grabbed the juice, and took a drink. It was just as refreshing as the first. Regal, his 7-year-old son, entered the kitchen, getting dressed, so much like his father, completing the task of buttoning up his shirt. Regal Keene took a seat at the table in front of the second plate and began eating. He paused between chomps and munches to look up. "Ready for class, eh, Regal?" Soldier questioned. Regal, more interested in the empty glass sitting on the table next to his father, disregarded the inquiry. Regal made eye contact with him, chewing slowly. Regal's eyes danced to the half-full glass Soldier held, to the empty slot on the side of his own plate, to the half-full glass, to the empty glass, to make eye contact with Soldier, his father, again. "Is that my juice, Dad?" "Nanya," Soldier called. "Nanya what, Dad?" Soldier tightened his eyes, assessing the situation, speechless. Nanya returned to the kitchen. "What's on your mind?" she said, heading to the refrigerator. "How's your schedule looking?" he asked as Nanya retrieved a full glass of juice from inside of the fridge. "Take Regal to school and then..." Nanya ran her eyes up and along the ceiling until she had dug the answer from her consciousness. "Get some things done around here. Why?" she asked. Placing a fresh glass of juice in front of Regal, gently kissing him on the cheek after. Soldier's nostril flared. Regal smiled slyly, staring at his father. "I need you to drop something off," continued Soldier. Nanya straightened Regal's clothes. "Okay." "Check my room atop the desk next to the window. There's a manila file between the bookends." Nanya finished straightening Regal's clothes, brushing dandruff from his shoulder with several passes. "Sure thing." Soldier eyed Regal for a long moment. Soldier then rose from the table. Once at a complete stance, he began straightening his own garb. Nanya made her way over to him and rustled with his collar. Soldier and Nanya held each other's gaze for almost an eternity as she continued to straighten his collar, which, according to Regal's body language, was not out of place in the beginning. Soldier surrendered to Nanya, lowering his eyes only to meet his son's stare. She retreated a short distance, snatched an untouched piece of meat from Soldier's dish, and began eating it. She took a seat in the chair at the table to the left of where Soldier had sat. Regal pulled his juice glass up to his lips. He was someplace calculating the dynamics of what had just shrewdly unfolded before him. "You two seeing each other?" he asked. Nanya found an opening between chews. "No." Soldier made no attempt to reply to his son's question. He remained engaged with Nanya. "Make sure you hand it to its recipient personally." Nanya chewed at the meat, staring straight ahead out the kitchen window. She held the uneaten portion of food in her grasp. Soldier knew she was watching him out of the corner of her eye. Nanya swallowed hard. "Okay." Regal had followed the verbal and nonverbal conversation very close. "Regal, get your books. It's time to go." Regal rose from the table and was off to follow his orders. Soldier checked his chronometer. "One more thing. I know I'm going to need you to stay here this weekend, just for day 8. There's an inspection scheduled aboard a mining rig, so I need you to put in some overtime." That won't be a problem, will it? Are you sure that last part's a question? Nanya asked. No. So I know there's something in it for me. I'll take care of everything. Regal and I will be fine. Regal re-entered the kitchen. He was holding the Miller file along with the school book. He handed it to Nanya, who took it. Soldier looked Regal up and down and smiled. See you two at the end of my shift. Regal nodded his head. Oh yeah, Dad, I need you to come to my school. What's up? I'm presenting some of the tools used by disaster crew, and I volunteered you to speak to my class as part of the project. Regal showed teeth. Soldier sighed. Great. His schedule was already hectic. Thanks, Dad, you're the best. Regal finished exiting the kitchen. You're the best, said Nanya with a smile. She exited the kitchen, following Regal outside. See you two later, said Soldier.